Hey y'all, what's up? What's happening? What's popping, my beautiful peeps? Welcome to a brand new episode of Get Since 92, giving you guys the latest and exclusive content on new music, entertainment news, and inspirational quotes by yours truly. I am here. So, literally, I'm going to do another amazing album review from this really talented artist. I love her music. So Ravyn Lenae, she released her new album. It's called Blue Island. It came out Friday, August 14th, and I had to take some time, a little bit, to get to, take time to listen to this really amazing body of work. And I literally feel that pretty much this is one of her best albums. And I believe it's her fifth album, I believe, or fourth album. But either that, regardless, like this album is worth listening to. So I'm going to talk and discuss how I feel about the album, the tracks, and overall, my favorite songs, and overall, how I feel about this entire Blue Island project. So as always, guys, you guys know the drill. Let's get it on popping as always, shall we? So there are 14 tracks on Blue Island. Number one is Handle. Number two, Familiar Dreams. Number three, Never Let Me Go. Number four, In and Out. Number five, Potential. Number six, Sue Me Back Together. Number seven, Reputation featuring Dominic Fight. Number 8, Saturday Night. Number 9, Baby Girl featuring Dochi. Number 10, Barriers. Number 11, Wish You Well. Number 12, Bobby. Number 14, Find It One Day. Number 14, Let Us In. So, okay, my standout tracks I enjoy so much from Blue Island are, my favorite tracks are Handle, Never Let Me Go, In and Out, Sue Me Back Together, Saturday Night, Baby Girl, featuring Dochi, um, Wish You Well, Find It One Day, and Let Us In. Overall, how do I feel about Blue Island? I think it's a brilliant um, album. Very, very good. Ravyn Lenae, she's pretty much a very amazing, talented musician, not just an artist. And as I was listening to the Blue Island album, I love that sound. Her sound has gotten pretty much, consistent in terms of, different genres of music where, she's R&B. This album has R&B and soul and pop and dance and alternative and rock and roll. And it does have like modern day of a sound like the current music, but it's more like 2000s and 90s and 80s and 70s. But for this Blue Island album, I love that literally the records are pretty much cohesive. There is versatility with this album. It creates an amazing dynamic, storytelling where Ravyn Lenae expresses herself and artistically, where it's a lot of those really feel good, rhythm and blues. But also she does incorporate R&B and funk and rock and roll. All of her vocals on this album, you can hear her vocals. She can sing very well, harmonize very well. She has a very sultry, jazzy, kind of like a real singer, powerhouse vocalist, but she has so much melody and so much richness and harmony. All the records pretty much are feel good music, whether they're records that makes you feel good, romantic records, records that makes you want to dance, records that makes you want to have fun, records that are vulnerability, records that show so much emotion. I feel like for her being a really talented though singer, songwriter, all of the above, she really pretty much did a lot of great things with this new project. I can tell she put a lot of time. I can tell she put a lot of really thought in being creative as her own artist. But I also love that there are exciting moments where, the project, is pretty much very just has more of a dynamic of eclectic. It's like more of an electrifying like album where it's like we listen to the album, it doesn't feel it's not it's just the music is really good. The music has gotten better. Not that she's a terrible artist. She never has been a terrible artist, period. But she's really amazing. But she really stayed pretty much true to her sound and really push, her sound, her music. I feel like those artists like handles more like that really R&B, soul, pop, groovy, rock and roll, alternative vibe to it. It has a really good feel, elements. Ravyn Lenae is pretty much singing on here brings so more of like a very feel free spirited, but more of a command of like pretty much being in control and having pretty much that like really nice greenness of that. But also this handles pretty much it brings a lot of like the really excitement of like putting together a record that's just not just like the R&B soul pop, but has like that rock and roll dance type to it. Um, In and Out is a really good record. In and Out, I think In and Out is more like that R&B soul kind of album vibe to it. And overall, pretty much most of the album pretty much it really gives a great feel to it. It has a lot of like those different sounds sonically. I feel like artistically she's very in her own element. She brings something new and refreshing, but she does have a lot of that, really like feel good, you know, um, just brings something like edginess, but it just has like a very nice socialist edginess. It's not like, it's like she's creating a new like a sound for herself, but it's so like, she's reinventing the sound of what music is. And for her being a really talented black artist, she definitely, has always made great music. So her music has always been dope. I really enjoyed the album for what it is. I feel like Blue Island is pretty much more like a really like creative edginess, new direction sonically. I kind of like feel like I'm on a Blue Island with like the adventure and just more like a really like, mystical element to it. I like the collaborations. The collaborations with their like Dominic Fike and the collaboration with Baby Girl featuring Doechii. That's one of the really good standout tracks. Baby Girl, I feel like it's more like R&B, like hip hop, but more like a dance, to it, effect to it. Doechii, she spits bars. She brings a lot like that really good, versatility as a rapper and as a musician. So I like how she really pretty much her wordplay and her rhymes and as a lyricist. So they did a great job on the Baby Girl record. And yeah, I'm going to give this Blue Island record a 5 out of 5. And I feel like as I was listening to the whole entire album, Blue Island pretty much brings like that Blue Island of just like, like I mean, just having your own, just it brings a lot of that really more of a dynamic, feel good music of like different genres together. But she does bring more different like sounds with this Blue Island album. I do love the album cover. It brings Mother Nature, and I love nature, and kind of like seems like she's going out for a walk, or she just like I say just need a break and to relax, but she's in her mode pretty much herself. But it's like she's really like in her own zone. I love the outfit. I love the nice dress and all that stuff. So I love the album Blue Island. The album cover is beautiful. Is nice. I wouldn't say simple because it's not simple, but especially with like nature and portraits, it really gives me like something like, it's joyfulness. That's what I see it as. Joyfulness is pretty much more of that. But as far as I am concerned, this album is really amazing. She did a great job with this Blue Island project. So Ravyn Lenae fans, share your thoughts and your opinions of Blue Island. Stay tuned next episode of Get Cincinnati 2. Like, share, comment, subscribe down below. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification button. And as always, stay tuned next episode of Get Cincinnati 2. How do you feel about this Blue Island project? What are your favorite standout tracks? Uh, let's have a conversation down below. So yeah, so with that being said, guys, stay tuned next episode. Get Since 92. Like, share, comment, subscribe down below. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification button. As always, y'all, stay tuned next episode. As always, peace out.